The Hornet is a multi-role fighter attack aircraft equally capable of combat in air-to-air and air-to-ground missions. The Hornet carries radar-guided AIM-7M Sparrow missiles and heat-seeking AIM-9M Sidewinder missiles. It has an internally mounted 20mm cannon that fires bullets at a rate of 100 rounds per second. In addition to these air-to-air weapons, the CF-18 is capable of dropping a variety of air-to-ground guided and unguided weapons with pinpoint accuracy. The Hornet's twin General Electric F404 engines produce a combined thrust of 32,000 pounds in afterburner, and its superior maneuverability makes the CF-18 one of the most outstanding fighters in the world today. The CF-18 flown here today was built for Canada by McDonnell Douglas, currently Boeing. It is combat aircraft that, with the exception of the aggressive paint job commemorating the 20th anniversary of the CF-18 operations in Canada, has not been modified for this air show. At its present configuration, this airplane will fly at nearly twice the speed of sound, or 1,300 miles per hour. And to demonstrate the awesome maneuverability and power of the CF-18, we'll watch and listen for Dewey as he performs his first maneuver, the takeoff dirty roll in Cuban 8. Just before going to that, we're going to check in with Dewey from the cockpit. Dewey has a few words to say.
Hey, Hornet 1, we're ready for you.
All right, everyone, Dewey from the F-18 cockpit. I'd like to welcome everyone to the 2002 Saskatoon Canada Remembers Air Show on the CF-18 Hornet demo. Also, hello today to all the veterans here. Thanks for joining us. Well, my parents, Scott and Karen, who drove up from Edmonton. And I'd like to take this opportunity to dedicate this show to all the family members present here today who are affected by the tragic events that occurred in Afghanistan. Our hearts are with you, and Hornet 1, power up.
Dropping into the first half of the Cuban 8. CF-18 next, as he's about to put the aircraft through the next repositioning maneuver, and then his next pass, where he will perform the topside pass. So have your cameras ready, as this year's CF-18 has been specially created to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the CF-18 operations in Canada. Here comes the topside pass. drops of blood back into the brain there. The level 360-degree turn. The next pass will be designed to show the remarkable maneuverability of the Hornet. Almost any aircraft can do a normal loop, but very few can perform one like the CF-18. Ladies and gentlemen, with a 7G hold to the vertical, he will set up for his square loop, dropping down now to get the energy he needs again. And at show center here, when he pulls back on that stick, he'll load 7G onto the plane in his body to begin the square loop. Coming across the top. Coming again into the vertical and heading down, and now begins to stride the high part. Squaring the loop off on the bottom and not sinking all the way to the ground. Dewey pulls, you can see the airplane dropping out and going out of the square loop. In order to get behind an adversary into what fighter pilots call the control zone, a pilot must occasionally slow down and let the enemy fly out in front of it. The aircraft that can fly the slowest will gain the advantage. Dewey is now slowing the Hornet down to almost minimum speed. Approaching center stage, he'll just be doing 125 miles an hour. It's going to look like it's suspended from a thread, just hanging like a model airplane at times in front of us compared to what we've been seeing. On passing center stage, he's going to light the afterburners again and accelerate vertically. But watch now as Dewey slows the airplane down for the high alpha pass. Watch the high alpha, high angle, the alpha designation for this, the nose coming up as he slows the airplane down even more. And of course he can't see over that nose, he's looking left and right at this time. And assisting him in the cockpit, one of the best designed cockpits in the world, where there are over 500 switches in the combat. An F-18 pilot can make the necessary selections using the 16 buttons on the stick and throttles, thereby eliminating the need to look inside and find that critical switch during aerial combat. These Facebook television displays present him with constantly updated technical information. And watch again as he continues the high alpha pass, and the show center, he'll light the afterburners and climb out vertically. Here to get the aircraft turned around and back at show center with a series of level rolls. A wonderful photo opportunity to get the top and bottom sides of this commemorative aircraft celebrating 20 years of service in Canada for the CF-18. Watch now for the series of level rolls. A Hornet in the sky with this paint scheme. Those of you who over the past 20 years have watched the full tactical demonstration of CF-18, I think know what's coming up next. He's approaching at more than 600 miles per hour, full afterburners. He's going to pull 7G into the vertical, straight up in the vertical climb at over 50,000 feet per minute, folks. More than 2 miles.
Hey, on, Dewey.
There he is in the cockpit. Let's listen in. I wonder what it looks like from up there. Dewey, you're gone. Where are you, Dewey? He's gone, folks. Hear the rumble. And there he goes, folks. And here comes Bud Granley in the Harvard. Up and ahead! Bud Granley in this vintage World War II era Harvard aircraft with a nice big snap roll on takeoff. That's moving a couple of tons of airplane around in front of you. Unbelievable. Keep your eye on Bud there as he moves around now and begins his performance. Absolutely beautiful job of restoring this Harvard that I'm going to tell you more about in the Golden Hawks colors. And off to the left, if you've lost the CF-18, folks, way off to the left, Dewey will be tracking back into land in front of us. You can just see a dot way off to the left as he's approaching the runways. All right, did I get anybody? No, did I get anybody? A show of hands. No, I tried. There you go from right to left. And Dewey, by the way, will be landing the CF-18. His mom and dad are here, so how about a round of applause for Dewey's fine talents. And of course, he'll be bumping the airplane to the hot ramp off to the left. He can't go on the other side of the fence, so he comes to the fence. And he'll be signing some autographs over there and talking to you about the CF-18 too. And although we've just seen Captain Clements and the Hornet disappear,